This is the Benelli Super Black Eagle 3, and it did not win our duck gun test, but it almost did. It really came down to this gun, which is a classic waterfowl hunter's favorite. It has some real dedicated fans to it. Came down to this gun and a Beretta shotgun. And before I talk about why it didn't win, I'll talk about why it almost won. Like I said, this is the 3, so this is the most updated version of the gun. And what they did with this compared to the 2 really has to do with kind of the feel and finish of this gun. So if you look back here, they put this really nice padded cheek piece on this gun. So, you know, it really, for an inertia-driven gun, it really handles recoil nicely. It doesn't beat you up too much. What I like about it most is how they just kind of slim down this forend. I mean, when I put this gun up, it just feels very natural, comes up great every time. You can kind of put this gun in anyone's hands, any duck hunter's hands, and they shoot it pretty well. You know, we noticed even folks who are kind of like, I don't really like the Benellis, I'm a Beretta fan, whatever. You give them this gun and they start hitting clays or they start hitting ducks, and you know, it really actually changes their mind. So we saw a little bit of that this week testing here in Texas. And ultimately, you know, that's what you want in a duck gun is, can you shoot it well? Is it comfortable? Can you swing it? And does it, you know, not beat you up as you're shooting, you know, heavy loads? So those are some of my favorite features about it. One thing that is important to note is this gun does pattern high. You know, you'll hear that about Super Black Eagles, and we found that in our testing. We pattern tested this, you know, off of a lead sled, off of a bench, and it does pattern high. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna miss birds with this, that you're gonna miss high. What we actually found is that through shooting this gun, even just holding on birds as you normally do, holding on targets as you normally do, people hit birds, they hit clays, they had no problem. So, you know, while patterning is important and you want to know where your gun hits, in the field, it actually didn't make that big of a difference. So the heart of this gun really is the action. That's what Benelli is known for, you know, inertia driven, really smooth, really reliable action. That's why people like inertia driven guns. Basically, the recoil of the shell is what drives the bolt back. This gun runs in the cold, it runs in the rain, it runs when it gets dirty. And that's why the Super Black Eagle has just gained such a good following over time. However, it's not totally foolproof. If you don't mount this gun perfectly to your shoulder, you know, if you're shooting out of a layout blind or you just don't get a very good gun mount, it won't cycle for you. So, you know, you have to do your part and it will do its. The other thing to note about the action is that they improved the bolt head mechanism. One of the things that people kind of complained about in the older Benellis was that if you close this bolt very gently, it wouldn't fire a shell. And they had kind of a, according to Benelli, a derogatory term for that. They called it the Benelli click. Now they've eliminated that problem with this new bolt. As you can see, even if you just kind of let it slide up, it locks into battery. So even if you just very gently let it slide up like that and then mount the gun, it will lock into place and that shell will fire. So, you know, that was a knock on the old version of this gun. They fixed that, and, you know, all around, this is an excellent duck gun. This is my own personal gun. I hunt with this Wisconsin, Minnesota, late season, geese, really anything you can throw at this gun, it can handle it. And that's why Benelli's just gained so many fans over the years, and this test team kind of became fans of this gun, even though it didn't necessarily win our test.